Cortez, Senator Smith of Minnesota is recognized.
Thank you, Chair Brown. I'm going to direct my first question to Professor Allen. So the collapse of FTX is shocking, but it's hard to say that it's surprising, right? I mean, it's hard not to conclude that this crypto exchange and its related firm, Alameda Research, completely failed to safeguard the money of the people they entrusted their money to there. And we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that millions of dollars disappeared overnight, and that this is money that belonged to people who couldn't afford to lose their money. So, Professor Allen, I want to get at this question of consumer protection pretty quickly. So people are free to invest their money pretty much however they want to, but they deserve to know that the market is fair and that there are rules that protect them from bad actors, so they're not getting ripped off. So exchanges and firms that buy and sell stocks and commodities are required to keep company money separate from their customers' money. They don't get to gamble with their customers' money without asking permission first. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's not the case with what we saw with FTX, what we see often in crypto. Is that true?
I mean, they often say in their terms of service that they won't do it, but they do it anyway.
Yeah, I think that's right. And when a firm is being paid to give advice to their customers on how to invest their money, they have to put their customers' interests first, right? That's the basic fiduciary responsibility. Is that the case in crypto right now?
So, I mean, I think there's a big concern here about crypto being incorporated into things like pension funds and also into 401k plans. So the Department of Labor has been very clear that they don't think that this is the type of thing that belongs in any kind of sort of retirement saving. Unfortunately, Fidelity has made the move to allow people to invest in Bitcoin through their 401k plans, and I think that's highly problematic.
Yes, and Senator Warren and Senator Durbin and I have sent letters to Fidelity and have urged the Department of Labor to follow up on this, because they have this highly volatile asset that does not appear to be, it seems to be exactly the wrong kind of thing to put in a retirement account where you're looking for more stable, more stability over the long term, right? Right. And let me just ask, just following up on what Senator Warren was focusing on, banks and other financial services firms have the responsibility, the duty to know who their customers are. That's how we protect against money laundering. Is that the case in crypto?
No. And I mean, I think generally speaking, there's sort of a failure of gatekeepers all over the crypto industry. You know, we've talked about we don't have the auditors being able to exercise oversight. We don't have KYC functions there. Another failure of oversight is the venture capital firms, right? We sort of expect them to exercise a restraint and exercise diligence before lending their reputation to these businesses. But venture capital firms were throwing money at FTX and similar firms without doing their diligence. So I think, as I explored in my written testimony, one of the things we can achieve by enforcing the securities laws is actually holding venture capitalists to account a little more because of potential liability as statutory sellers of unregistered securities.
Yep. So I agree with that. I think that the crypto world of FTX shows us what can happen when we don't have basic consumer protections in place. And, you know, crypto is a relatively new thing, but we know what to do to make sure that our markets are fair and that financial institutions know their customers. So it seems to me that our job here is to enforce the laws that we have, make sure that we are plugging holes where they exist, and making sure that our enforcement agencies have the authorities and the resources they need, or we're going to see more disasters like this. Mr. Schenken, I would like to follow up and ask you a question. I want to talk about the external impacts of crypto. So crypto mining and verification is a highly energy-intensive process. It requires more electricity annually than many individual countries. The worst offender is Bitcoin, but this is a widespread problem. In the U.S. alone, crypto operations require as much electricity as all home computers or residential lighting, and this is, of course, contributing to our challenges around carbon emissions. And then there's the issue about crypto mining exacerbating local noise and air and water pollution as well. So lots of externalities, as we say. So as I understand it, crypto mining is built on a process that becomes more and more energy intensive over time. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's inherently inefficient. Is that
Yes.
correct?
The technology is bad.
And so where is the benefit of this kind of innovation, and how should we think about the impacts of this when it comes to the climate and energy use impacts? Because in fact, when crypto mines are located in communities, those communities often see their energy prices go up, their energy rates go up. Is that correct?
That's right. I visited the largest crypto mine in the country, Whinstone, which is in Rockdale, Texas, just outside of my hometown of Austin, Texas. Local citizens are upset. It raises the cost of electricity for all citizens, and it also uses an enormous amount of energy. It took over a former Alcoa aluminum smelting plant that had been abandoned, and now we are using it to mine ephemeral digital assets of no productive value. I think that says a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.